Wow, we almost lucked that in on the blocker side on Philippe Boucher. Good save, though, as the Cats testing him early. No score. We played a minute and 13, 18:45 remaining. Gabe Smith out there. Q leader in the power play, along with Kuzma Voronin. Centering pass, blocked by the Cataracts. Smith quickly back to the blue line. Tommy Bleyl lets it go. Chest save, Boucher on that great wrist shot by Bleyl. He has 8 points in 2 games. Teddy Moncton on a tear as well with 10 points in 4 games. Voronin's in the Shawinigan corner, dropping it back to Gabe Smith. Backhander, just getting through. No score. Game number 4 in the Maritime swing for the Cataracts. Ripped in from center by number 24, Prudhomme. Guimont in the corner. Cats up the middle, Lounsbury. Nice pass on the wing. Flying into that, Liam Bursaw. Man, is he moving in behind the net. Robertson, Palmer in front to Lounsbury. Pulled the trigger, rolled off his stick, and it'll be feathered gently down the ice right to Rudy Guimont. Guimont throws it on the wing to center. The Cataracts are going to fire it right back in. 24, Prudhomme, the defenseman. Here come the Cats in their own zone. Tom Bleyl on the wing. Robertson, Palmer dishing it off there. Chipped in by Liam Bursaw. The Cataracts get one from the wing, bombing it through the front of the Moncton net. No tip. Another shot from the point, tipped high over Guimont's net. No score. 14:35 to go. Moose heads in tomorrow at 2 o'clock. There's a bouncing puck. Turnus is going to try to dance around the defenseman, almost getting by. Drew Hockley, the 20-year-old 6'3" D-man from Kentville. Moncton throws it back to the blue line. Fortier-Gendron across the paint. It'll be Binkley turning at the top of the circle. Binkley with a drive. Deflected into the corner. Binkley will pick up his own rebound. Centering pass. Gobbled up by the Cataracts. They come through center laterally. Puck still in there. They're going to simply flip it high in the Moncton zone. Adam Fortier-Gendron coming off that hat trick on Friday. Here he comes, carrying it through center, absolutely flying. Cuts in, backhander just wide. Cuts in front to Smith. There's the shot and a pad save. You can hear it from up here. Boucher off, can't say leather anymore, but it's off the pad. It'll be chipped in from center by Gabe Smith. Flying in there after it, Jasinski and Voronin. No score. Back into the corner it goes. Smith tying up his man. 11:27 to go. Acadian Day here at the Avenir Center with a good crowd. Cats looking for 11 in a row to maintain first in the queue. Gabe Smith on the boards. Getting it by a couple of Cataracts. They break it up and throw it out to center, but the Cats are back, tying up the play. Fortier-Gendron throwing it across to Tommy Bleyl. Bleyl now accelerating through center. Bleyl continues. He'll swing back to the blue line and backhand it in the corner. Lounsbury picks it up from Bleyl. Gets it back into
this afternoon.
It's all jammed up in that Western Conference. Armada 68, Drummondville and Shawinigan 66, and Rouyn-Noranda 65. I don't recall a 4-team race that tight in a Western Conference this late in the year. Kept in by Bleyl at the blue line. Nico Turnus going in there with Teddy Moncton and Simon Binkley. Moncton's on a real point streak. Turnus getting his 36th of the year on a bit of a breakaway from center ice Friday night in Halifax. Cleared down the ice by Shawinigan. That'll be, and of course, tickets on Ticketmaster.ca. Here comes Nassette, their leading scorer. Across the Cat blue line, being pursued by Fortier-Gendron. Off a skate. Cornforth will pick up the loose puck. Over the Shawinigan blue line, drops it back. Desnoyers to go in the first. Crown Plaza Baton Rouge sponsoring your power play. Place to be, our neighbors at Highfield and Main. Nico Turnus, top of the circle. Good hook on Desnoyers. Turnus with 36 goals on the year. They'll get things set up. Turnus in behind the goal line. Gabe Smith. He's going to carry it in behind Boucher and get it on the wing. Desnoyers back to Tom Bleyl. Bleyl to Desnoyers. Desnoyers will throw it back to Moncton. Moncton will turn and get it back to Desnoyers. Desnoyers in the corner. Up the wall it comes. Desnoyers still with it. Power play Cats, no score. Side of the net. Smith will turn and rip it wide. He stepped out from behind the goal line. Just wide. Turnus now. Side of the net. Moncton's going to keep it in. Desnoyers. Power play, no score. We've got 1:11 remaining with the extra man first period. Centered by Desnoyers. Intercepted by the Cataracts. And they quickly fire it down the ice to Rudy Guimont. Moncton skating right to left here at the Avenir, starting in the south end. Pardon me, the north end, heading south at the majestic Avenir Center. Here comes Voronin on the wing off the skate of Binkley and lofted high in the air. Rolling to goaltender Guimont. Guimont is going to continue to play it with an enemy player. Always great to have Sarah on the show. Here comes Tom Bleyl. Bleyl slowly. He'll drop it back. Ronan now was sure the Cats were going to get possession, but as Hayden pointed out, off Valen, right to the Cataract player. Happens often in this crazy game of hockey. 1-0, 5:14 to go. The Cataracts are going to barge in from the wing. Back to the blue line. There's a drive. Guimond knocked that down in heavy traffic. Cornforth on the boards. Bleyl behind the net. Fortier-Gendron around the boards. The waiting winger is Mercier. Mercier through center over the Cataract blue line. Mercier cuts in front. In behind the net. Cornforth tried to wrap around and then whips down the ice between the two Cat defensemen. Tom Bleyl gliding back for it behind Rudy Guimond. And flying out from behind the net. Bleyl through center. Bleyl with his head up carries that puck beautifully. Bleyl coming into the corner. Still with it. Bleyl in behind the net. Showing up Cornforth. A high flip by the Cataracts out to center. 1-0 Shawinigan. 4:28 to go in the opening period. We're going to play the Mooseheads here at 2 o'clock, and you get a great deal, $5 off. Use family passcode on the Ticketmaster website or app to get $5 off. Cross-checking the call. Good call, Aiden, on that. A light cross-check. I'll amend my earlier prediction on that goal. Tommy Bleyl wraps it high on the boards. Trapped by number 81, Elias Schneider, Rosenheim, Germany native. 14 goals on the year. Back to the blue line to Plante. 1-1 tie. Cataracts on the power play. 1:48 to go. Middle of the blue line, not passing just yet. They're going to get it back to the blue line to Plante. Getting it to the other side. There's a drive. Knocked down in front, I believe. Bleyl got a piece of that. Back to the blue line. Lounsbury on the kill with Teddy Mutrin. Two very dangerous penalty killers. Cataracts, Vincent Elie. The Montrealer, there's a one-timer. Guimond the save. Rebound through the crease off the other side. And down the ice, Mutrin takes a whack on the way by to number 80. 30.8 to go in the opening period. 1-1 tie. 25 seconds to go. The Cataracts and Moncton 1-1 tie. There's a redirect in front. Guimond makes a save. The rebound is loose. They're chopping at it. And a bouncing puck will come back to the blue line. Luckily kept in by the Cataracts. Lounsbury would have been gone. Elie shooting. Shoulder save by Guimond. Another drive high over the Moncton net with 9 seconds to go. Power play over. Great kill by the Cats. As the Cataracts, they don't appear to be too tired out there. This is their 4th in 5 days. And the whistle. A lot of aggressive shoving. Chudzinski. He'll be bear hugged by Fortier-Gendron and on the right on the board. Aiden, as we start the second period. All right. Shawinigan 0-3 on the trip, but they lost in overtime and a shootout. Welcome back to the Avenir. Wildcats hockey in game 50. Cats have won 10 in a row. Dave Smith physical out there on the forecheck for Moncton. Here come the Cataracts over the line. Lasselt, the leading scorer, off wing, quick shot off Fortier-Gendron. AFG, Fortier-Gendron with the big hat trick on Friday in Halifax. 11-1 Cats. From the face-off, back to the blue line. Lantier, quick shot, and Guimond made the save. But
Halifax losing, what was it there? It was 11-1. 11-1, yeah.
Tom Bleyl moves in from the blue line, giving a bit of a hook at the end. They've given that goal to Desnoyers, at least on the website. Aiden will check that out. There's a shot, they score! Big play! Bouncing out from the corner. 20 seconds remaining. Moncton's number 9 heading to the bench. The Cataracts bring it over the Cat blue line. Drop pass. Legitsa 72. Nice play on the tip. Tommy Bleyl putting pressure on his man, Chandler. Penalty time, 5 seconds. Moncton up 3-1. Back to the blue line. Prudhomme, top of the circle. No shot yet. Back to Prudhomme. There it is quickly off the post. Another drive. Wide into the corner. Cleared away right to Virgilio. Heavy traffic. Here comes Lounsbury. Coming down his off wing. Lounsbury putting on the brakes. Full stop in front of the net. Desnoyers backhander over the net. Back to the blue line of Despotie. At the net. Steered away by Boucher. Moncton dangerous. 3-1 lead. Couple of quick ones by Mutrin and Desnoyers. Coming up the wing. Puck now in the Cat zone. They're going to throw it up. Long stretch pass through center. Nico Turnus. No icing. First man there. By 2, the Saguenay do play a bit later today. This is game 50. Chipped in high by Chudzinski. 4-1 Moncton, as I mentioned. Puck in behind the net on the forecheck, centered in front to Chudzinski, coming in from the blue line. Fortier-Gendron. Here come 3 Cataracts through center. Ely's in with Lacette. Ely in front. The pass behind his teammate, and the Cats will throw it out to center. Gabe Smith on the wing. Coming in, Veronin really flying the shot, and Boucher stayed with him as he flew through that crease. Nice save by the Shawinigan goaltender. Moncton getting some quality scoring chances here with a 4-1 lead. Here come the Cataracts. They're going to hit the Moncton blue line. A drop pass to Lacette. Pushed off the puck. Tried an extra move. Linesman falling on the backside. Kevin Fisher. Here comes Chudzinski with a drive. Blocked in front. Veronin's behind the net. Blocking sticks with Plamondon. Puck flipped up to the Moncton bench. At center, the lone Cataract will drift it in. That's Gleb Semenov from Russia. Here comes Fortier-Gendron on the wing. Loose puck at the blue line corner. Shawinigan 1. Cats are coming off the 11-1 game Friday night at Scotiabank Center. Vero Waste and Recycling kill for your Moncton Wildcats. The Cataracts throw it to the blue line. Schneider, Blanc, top of the circle. They don't rush things, I'll tell you. Lacerte, very patient, but it was swept out nicely by Tommy Bleyl. Lacerte, the leading scorer on that team, with 74 points, including 34 goals. Schneider across the Moncton blue line. It's tipped in front. Breakaway. Ted Mutrin knocked it down. Mutrin coming into Lounsbury. Generous to a fault. Lounsbury couldn't get a stick on that. Another centering pass, and it hit a stick laying on the ice. That was going back to Teddy Mutrin. 2-on-0 breakaway. Lounsbury on his off wing. That was the only thing preventing that goal. Mutrin is there to fish it loose and fire it down the ice. And the second period is over. Aidan Glendenning here, third period action at the Avenir. Catch skating right to left. Power play broken up nicely, and down the ice Tommy Bleyl. That should do it for the power play by Shawinigan. Out comes Mercier from prison, and it's a 4-1 Moncton lead, 18:54 to go. Here come the Cataracts through center. Fifth-year veteran Vincent Ely ripped in. Pad save Guimont on that long shoot in. Ely's in the corner. Along the boards, the Cats will dip it off on the boards. Here they come down the right side. Mercier through center. Gavin Cornforth will swing back in the Cat zone. Virgilio across to Tommy Bleyl. Bleyl, wow, what a move on the incoming 71. Semenov. Bleyl picks it back up in the neutral zone. He'll get it going forward. Mercier's over the blue line. Full stop. Mercier back to the blue line he goes. He'll reverse the flow. He continues along the boards. Vincent Ely is there. Mercier will come back on the back check. Picked up. Whoa. Cats trying to get across that blue line. Center one. Picked up by the Cataracts and wheeling out of their own zone. 71. Gleb Semenov, the Russian. He'll drop it back to Lacette. Moving in. There's a drive high over Guimont by the incoming Hockley. And Moncton will shoot it out to the Shawinigan blue line. Loose puck at the penalty box area. Fortier-Gendron feeding it deep in the Cataract zone. Hockley from Kentville, Nova Scotia, 6'3", 190, the 20-year-old. Over the line for the Cataracts, into the corner. Semenov getting it to Lacette. Lacette steps out of the corner. Back to the blue line. There's a drive. That'll go off the leg of Mercier. It'll come right back to the blue line. Prudhomme, front of the net. They can't get a shot away. Ely's in the corner. Back to Lacette. A shot off Cornforth. Wide. Puck kept in at the blue line by Semenov. Here's a centering pass, but nice play by Tommy Bleyl to break that up. Try as they might, they can't get any shots more than they're doing at Rudy Guimont. 4-1 Moncton lead, 14:40 remaining. Fortier-Gendron.
Only 19 shots and 1 goal here, and the Moncton Wildcats are doing a really good job of that this afternoon.
Off the face-off, the puck will bounce around at the Moncton blue line. Fortier-Gendron on the wing. Butted in by Binkley off Boucher. It's loose there for a bit, and the Cataracts quickly get it out to center. Right wing pass stepping over the line. Cole Chandler, the drive. Pad save Guimont. Rolling loose puck, but the Cats are there safely to get the puck to Nico Turnus at center. He'll whip it in behind goaltender Boucher. Mutrin showing up. Around the boards it goes. Binkley looking to steal one. Bouncing puck. Mutrin is there. Teddy Mutrin, 14, right point pass. Bleyl now at the net looking for a place to go. Cuts into some open ice. There's the drive. Boucher off Tommy Bleyl. Another mini leg. Versa will keep it in. Back into the corner to Robertson Palmer. Robertson Palmer centers one. Intercepted by Shawinigan. They bat it out to center. 10 minutes remaining. Cats relentless on their attacks. Here comes Jean. He'll move in front. Right to Boucher. As the Cat player knocked down at the net. That's Bursaw. Big scrum now at the Shawinigan again by Mercier. In turn, picked off by the Cataracts. Here comes Shawinigan over the line. Vincent Elie. There's the drive through Guimont off the crossbar. It'll end out at center. Cleared out by Moncton. 7:20 remaining. Semenoff, the Russian, over the line. 71, dropping it back. Lacerte back to the blue line. Cataracts put it back into the corner. Lacerte losing it to Tom Bleyl. Bleyl spins away from a check. On the wing, Jean at center. Gabe Smith, 4-1 Cats. 7 minutes remaining. For Ronan in front, moving to his backhand forehand. What a play by Chudzinski, and Boucher there. As Moncton's 22 tried to chip it by him. Jean being chased in there by Semenoff. Great moves by Ryan Chudzinski. Here he comes again down the left side. Right-handed shooting. Full stop. Chudzinski in front. The incoming Veronin. Intercepted.
He's really flourished under the coaching staff of Gardner McDougall.
Bleyl throws one high up on the boards to the Cat bench. Mercier with that great speed cuts around a couple of Shawinigan players. Ran out of real estate. Pnott slams him into the boards. Cataracts are in behind their own goaltender. 3:46 to go with a 5-2 Moncton lead. Subaru Moncton postgame show following again. There's Elie with a drive and tracking that in a crowd through the legs. Rudy Guimont. Make that the left of Guimont. 5,100 on hand here today. Nantier elects to carry it in. Lost it to Jean behind the net. 5-2 Moncton. 3:30 remaining. Shawinigan's not going to quit or give up in this one. Loose puck in the corner. Meanwhile, Jean battling along the boards with 71. Semenoff in behind the net. Vince Elie. Vincent Elie protects the puck coming up the boards. Fired in by the Cataracts in the corner. 71 and 24 continuing their battle. Shawinigan gets it back to the blue line to Lantier. Dishing it off at the boards. Semenoff throwing it in the corner. Semenoff, number 71. Getting by the Cats. He still has it. Back to the blue line with 2:55 remaining. Lacerte along the blue line, giving a pretty good hook. Here's Veronin. Breakaway, Gabe Smith, blue line in. Shot, Boucher.